Hi everybody, I'm Bree the Plant Lady, and today we are preparing for an unfortunate cold snap, which isn't that unusual, but it sucks every year when this happens. Yesterday the forecast said 25, and I was kind of like, I mean that's cold, but it's not the end of the world. This morning the forecast said 21, which means that it could get even colder than that, and that's for sure gonna do damage. So I'm making a couple more videos to add to my spring cold snap playlist that I hope will be useful for all of you. And in this video today, I want to show you some very practical advice from David about, making sure that you have your hoses unhooked from your house, and he actually added heat trace to the plumbing in the greenhouse. So I hope that you will find this video in particular to be very useful as far as protecting the infrastructure of your irrigation systems at home. So David, here we are in the greenhouse where you undid the water all winter. And that was because in the past we've had our water lines explode and you've had to replumb it. So you turned it on over the weekend. Tell everybody what you did.
Okay, so I did some preventative measures this time. After the third time of replacing all this plumbing, I put what we call heat trace in. We use this at work. I work at a power plant, so it's a little more robust than what we do at work, but there's actually a physical line that heats up and it gets hot to the touch. It's actually, you can feel it right now, it's hot. And it's hooked up, it's plugged in right here, and there's a little sensor here that will it turns the heat trace on when it gets cold out. And then I have insulation wrapped around the pipes, and that's going to keep everything from freezing, so it won't blow a line and we won't have to shut it off again and replumb everything for the fourth time.
So in this case, should we still undo the hose? I don't really understand everything, so I just always undo everything.
Okay, I would undo the hose because you're protected from freezing from the valve, all the valves down into the ground.
Okay. And so it's always recommended when temperatures are below 32 to unhook your hoses.
That's right. So we're safe right here. We don't have to isolate and drain anything else. I'm going to take all of this off, because this has a freeze protection built in it, but it doesn't work if there's a hose attached to it. So we'll go ahead and unhook that. And then we're going to unhook the timer, because water can be trapped in here and we don't want to have it freeze up. So we'll put that back in the shed.
Yep, see all that water that came out.
Yeah. It doesn't take much to freeze that. And then we will unhook the wall.
So you can see the wall hooks up to a hose, which makes it so user-friendly. You don't have to worry about irrigating, except in the winter you have to unhook it. And you see how nice the system is, where these just slide off the frame so you can get in.
Yeah, and it'll all drain out this low point.
There we go.
There you have it.
Now, I'll be the first to admit, I hate cold weather. I wish I could live in a frost-free environment. But, these temperature fluctuations are widespread. It's not like it's just here. In fact, I was just in Tallahassee over the weekend, and they're supposed to get to 23 degrees. And they were way farther ahead of us with plants blooming and growing, and they had tomato plants that were already a foot tall that people were buying at the garden center. So this is why our last frost dates count. And even when we have unusual weather, you should still really take into consideration those frost dates, because as I was researching to do my presentation in Tallahassee, it was still not recommended that you plant tomatoes in the garden until April 15th. And that's a month from now. So, I just feel terrible for all the people who got excited last weekend and, you know, thinking it was like 80 some degrees and it felt like summer, and it's not summer yet. It's technically not even spring yet. We're still in winter. So I hope this video will be helpful in some way. I don't think that it's inspiring at all. It's, you know, this is part of gardening that is quite tedious and annoying, and I don't think anybody enjoys it, but it is reality. And my goal, as always, is to bring you practical gardening advice, you know, whether it's in a shiny box with a bow or not. And that's exactly what today's video is all about, just giving you some realistic expectations for what to expect really over the next 6 weeks or so as we navigate the weather conditions of early spring. Well, best of luck, everybody. Stay warm, and I hope your gardens are unfazed.